Everybody, this is Eastwood Baseball on Eastwood Sports Media. I'm joined with Kaden Knapp. I'm Dan Ridenour, as always. Eastwood heading into another quite interesting event. The last game out of their three-game road streak, so to speak. You know, they went to Patrick Henry on Saturday, picked up 2 victories to recover against Friday, against a tough 4-1 loss against Elmwood. But you know what, Otsego as well, to start off NBC play, is here in it tonight, Kaden. Boy, I think it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, 2 rivals squaring off here in Otsego. Beautiful day for baseball. By far the warmest day of the year. Very, very windy, so we'll see how that plays into effect today.
Absolutely. You know, the wind's going to be a little bit of a factor, I'd say, that's kind of moving along and kind of we might see the ball roll a little bit more out into the field and everything, but nonetheless, that weather is just looking beautiful today, and I think these guys, everybody, both the red and the black, are excited to play.
Yes, 100%. Another season of conference play about to get underway, and you go back to last year, the Knights won both meetings between these 2 teams, and then the year before, I believe it was Eastwood who won both matchups, and they're 3-3 against each other in the last 3 years, so very tightly close teams.
Absolutely. This is one of those games, Caden, that you mark with that big fat marker on your calendar and you're getting ready to go for it. And, kind of piggybacking off what you just said earlier, yeah, the last time these guys have played, was Wednesday, May 8th of 2024. That was a 6-3 loss for your Eagles, and that was at Eastwood High School. So not only was Otsego able to get that victory on the road, they also got the win last year at home, which was Eastwood's first loss of the season.
Yeah, and the other one, I believe, was 2-0 played here in Otsego.
It really was, yes. And so, we're going to get rolling just here in a minute, get ready for the national anthem, and see first pitch on the mound today for the Otsego Knights is going to be none other than Cole Cryan. He's going to get it rolling for the Knights on the mound today. For your Eagles, Caden Donnell. So going to be exciting to see what they bring to the table. This is Eastwood Baseball on Eastwood Sports Media. And welcome back, everybody. This is Eastwood Baseball, Eastwood Sports Media. He's Kaden Knapp. I'm Dan Ridenour. We got a very special NBC opener for the baseball season this year. Eastwood Otsego. When you saw this game on your calendar, you knew what it was going to be like, and you knew who was going to broadcast it.
Yes, 100%. We tried to do the football game together, but unfortunately some technical difficulties occurred. But we're on air for this one.
Absolutely. Definitely, looking forward to it. A lot of anticipation and kind of, if you will, the last lap almost of, being in the NBC. I mean, you've been doing it way longer than I have, but, still a shared passion of ours and something we hold with a lot of seriousness, and just excited to see these guys play at the Castle one more time.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad to be on air with you.
And I appreciate it. So let's take a look at the starting lineups for both these teams. For Eastwood, as they start their offensive expenditure, Colton Woodward, the shortstop as always, Brock Messenger in center field, Caden O'Neill, he's going to be the pitcher today, Drew Kashmerek, the first baseman, Connor Norton, the catcher, Paul Lotzenheiser, the designated hitter. He's going to be hitting for Austin Bonfiglio, the right fielder, and then Eric Hepler after Paul, Cam Shoemaker in left field, and then Drew Ludhart to finish out the order. He's going to be playing second base today. So, man, that's going to be quite the lineup. Kind of been what's working so far for the Eagles, and, seeing them go out there again is going to be exciting.
Yeah, and they're going against Cole Cryan. He has a 175 earned run average this season, 1-0 record. This will be his third start of the season. So, a little bit of a test for the Eagles.
Yeah, and that's correct. Otsego currently have played 7 games. They are 5-2, a 3-1 home record as well. Those wins coming more notably against a similar opponent in Patrick Henry. That was a 6-2 victory for the Otsego Knights. Now here we go. Colton Woodward to face off against Cole Cryan, the junior, versus the number 1 senior at the plate. So now here we go. Woodward to step in for the first at-bat today. Little bit of sidebar from the Eastwood bench. They're getting excited here for game 1 of the series. The high ball just going to be outside. That'll be ball 1, bringing our count to 1-0 so far on the day.
And didn't miss by much, just went up and out.
Yeah, and that wind really carrying everything today that you're going to see,
It'll be interesting to see how both pitchers adjust to that.
Definitely will. Next pitch, however, the wind to take it again outside. Looked almost like a curve, but, nonetheless, if you're a left-handed batter, that's by your knees.
Yeah, and no contest there.
Now here we go. For the third time, Woodward. That one going to... Ooh, that just barely got it. Looked like from up here it could have gone either way, but, umpire's going to call that one a ball.
Yeah, all 3 pitches we've seen so far have been in about the same location.
Yep, just there it goes again. That's going to be the same spot in Woodward for the first time this game. He's going to take a trip, and now we'll see Brock Messenger come up to the plate.
We'll see how Cole adjusts after pitching 4 balls in almost the same exact location.
Well, and the good thing is that you're consistent, but, once you kind of get into the swing of things and see what's going on, I think he's going to have an absolutely great day. Tries to call Woodward back over to first. He's going to be safe, however, nonetheless. So Messenger gets ready to see, just has to sit there and watch what happens. Brock looking again. And that'll be the first strike of the game for Cole Cryan.
Yeah, it's already seeing the adjustment.
Yeah, definitely getting in there in time. Messenger's been more this year so far of being a sacrifice man, and another one going for Woodward back again. He already knows Woodward, who has 6 steals on the year, going to be a guy who wants to use his feet.
Yeah, and the Knights not shy of throwing it over to the bases to try and pick someone off.
And here we go. Messenger getting back for it. He looking to bunt, but Woodward looking to steal, and does he get there in time? He doesn't. However, the throw is just a tad over to the left, so Woodward will be safe.
Yeah, I think the wind kind of affected that throw.
And as you can see kind of at the top of your screen, folks, just pretty windy day, but I will say, though, it is beautiful weather. As when we got here, it was 71 degrees.
Yeah. Just what you want to see out of baseball.
Absolutely. So Messenger for his third pitch of the game. And get ready to see it. Obviously a bunt. That's going to roll to the left side, but just knock right out towards the Otsego dugout. That now gives him 2 strikes and 1 ball.
Yeah, I don't know about bunting there because you already have a runner at second base, but that's a strategy they've elected to go with.
Well, and that's kind of his signature move, so to speak, but now he's in a position where he can't do that. Going to be interesting, however. 1-2 count for Messenger. Now here we go again. I'll take it down the middle. Strike 3 called, looking. Full crying to get the backwards K there, and now we're going to have him back up in the order for Kaden Donnell, who's also pitching. And a big Yankees guy, so I wonder if he's going to be like a CC Sabathia or someone like that today.
Well, there's no short porches here at Otsego, so not as much help.
Donnell to take it. Right down, he's going to get it. Woodward's going to have to bounce, and that's going to go. Donnell gets there not in time. So that's out number 2 of the inning, but the benefit of it, is you got Woodward at third. So if you can try to get Kashmir to hit here, it's going to be a good situation for you.
Yeah, we'll look for a pass ball.
No, do me a favor.
But notice how almost all Cryan's pitches so far have been in the same exact location.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really consistent, with where he's placing it. He's choosing a different spot every time. Next one, however, outside again in the left box. That'll be ball 1 for him. Good to get the momentum after 2 batters. You lose one, you win one, but nonetheless, I feel like here, you're still putting yourself in a good spot to succeed with 2 outs. And Kashmir to take it. That one high as well, though. Ball 2. Looks like the wind almost took that one.
Yeah, it really did.
For the third pitch of the at-bat and Cryan's 12th of the game. Here we go. Top of the first inning. Kashmir's still up. Goes and gets almost a side away from Kashmir. Going to rule that one a strike. So that'll be the first strike of his at-bat. 2-1 count now.
Yeah, good placement there. Going from in to out there.
In to out. Here we go. Kashmir going to look. Swings at it and gets the tip. Not exactly what you wanted to see, but now we got the 2s all across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs still for Kashmir. Now you're going to have to look and find out what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to try to get it in play or be patient. Gamble for that ball 3. So he'll find it again. Kashmir going to be high, so he does take the gamble and pays off. Now he's got the full count right here. Okay, top of our first inning. If you're Kashmir, do you swing at it or do you just try to kind of let it pass by and take the gamble again?
I'm going to swing, personally.
And he will. That one going to make him look like he's swinging a katana. That will be high. Strike 3 and another one. Different, however, from Cryan's previous strikeout. This one going to be our normal K. Backwards K because Brock did not swing. Kashmir, however, on this one swinged. And how about that? You get through 4 batters. You let 1 walk, and then you strike out 2, however. That's definitely got to be a good feeling to have if you're Cryan.
Yeah, definitely. Working through the walk, as you mentioned, and we'll see how they bat.
And, batting goes either way. You can have a really good day of batting. You can have a more poor day of batting. I mean, for example, when we went out to Elmwood, the bats were flying for both teams. Obviously, they got the better of it in that day, and it was the same in Patrick Henry. However, if you kind of take a little look back towards a game, like Clyde, you were more in Wayne Trace. It was more of a fielder's first type game. And, that game against Wayne Trace to open the season, ending in a Cam Shoemaker RBI double to bring Jamison King home. But it just comes to show, bringing back to my point, that baseball either day, it's just hitting subjective. It can go either way.
It really can.
And, here we'll go. Donnell looking pretty well. And you're the Otsego guy. Let's take a look at it now. Who's the starters for Otsego here today as they get batting up?
So 1, 2, 3 looks like this. Lincoln Fertig, Easton, Jeremy, Bodie, Simon, and then there's Nemo, Barnes, Colin Went, Keegan Mentrick, and then 7 through 9, Grady Frank, Mason Rowe, and then Jack Hartman. Went is the designated hitter. Everyone else playing the field.
Leading off for the Knights, the center
And now,
fielder.
here we
Number
go.
4, Lincoln Fertig.
Lincoln Fertig up to the plate, Kaden. I'll let you take it away as Otsego gets ready to hit.
Fertig this season, 280 batting average, appearing in his 8th game. The freshman getting a lot of playing time to start his high school career. And he's going to swing and miss at the first pitch he sees. to start us off.
Definitely wind there, kind of taking it a little bit. And that's what Donnell's more known for, is his finesse over his power.
That one zips into the zone. Strike number 2. 0-2 it goes. Verdict. Going to watch that one go outside. First ball.
Given his age and everything, that just makes it even more impressive. But nonetheless, great patience there by Ferdig to let that one go out.
And he's going to call time. Yeah, especially down 0-2. Important to not get fooled.
Yeah, and that was really impressive, though. It looked almost even up here that was going to be a strike, but just at the last second curved out, and that's a ball.
To the plate, that one goes. It's a foul tip into the mitt. That's out number 1.
Coming to the plate for the Knights, the catcher, number 12, Easton Jeremy.
So that'll bring Easton Jeremy up to the plate. Jeremy, the junior, 333 average. He's going to miss that one. Strike 1.
And so to take it, Donnell giving up the first batter. Just on that, however, good way to recover.
0-1 turns to 0-2 as there's a strike off the outside corner.
Great pitch as well. Donnell really showing some confidence here early.
Putting it in the spot that he wants as there's the first ball. 1-2.
Caden, I don't know if it's just me, but that in the left batter's box has really been kind of the sweet spot almost for both these pitchers here today.
Yes, it really has. As there's a ball up the third base line that's fielded, thrown across the diamond and just in time. 5-3, 2 away.
How about that for Hep? We knew Eric Kepler has a little bit of
third
power.
baseman, number 30, Bodie
Third base,
Simon.
the lineup's been more set in stone for the Eagles for the most part this year, but one of the positions that's really changed a lot so far is third base. We've seen anywhere from Paul playing there, Andre Lantigua. Now Eric Kepler, however, to make a great throw.
Simon now in the batter's box. He's going to watch a ball. But yeah, that was a really good throw, especially with the wind. 1-0 turns to 1-1.
Yeah.
Simon has been a leader for this team. Senior.
Absolutely, definitely Otsego name. There's some Eastwood names that you kind of just recognize and realize, yeah, they go to Eastwood. Simon, one of those for Otsego.
Yes. He was a huge leader of the student section for all the basketball games this season as a 3-1.
Well, and I do have to give you credit for that. I know you were in Miami of Ohio, beautiful campus, by the way, but that was one of the more loud student sections I've ever seen while calling a game.
And ball 4, that'll go down as a walk.
And so there you go. For the first time today, Otsego will have a man on,
number 29,
a man on
Nemo
first base.
Barnes.
And here comes Nemo Barnes, quite the kid himself, Browns and Yankees fan, and if I am not mistaken, was one of my former classmates.
I'm pretty sure he was. I know I refereed with him for upward flag football for a little bit.
Interesting.
Small world.
Small world indeed.
And that will be a strike off the outside corner.
That was definitely great patience. You want to take that first one, kind of let it soak in for a second. That one, almost a similar situation as we saw earlier. Not going to go the same way, however.
He's going to watch strike 2.
And so there goes Simon. He's got an 0-2, bottom of our first, but you got a man on. So now Donnell's going to have to worry about him as well.
I'd be more so worried about Barnes at the plate, especially with the 0-2 count. There's a ball. Simon takes off for second, and he's going to be tagged out.
Wow.
That'll end the inning.
That will conclude things here, so we're going to have to get that switched up here, go from the bottom of the first to the top of our second inning. Forgot to change that, actually. My apologies. The previous one, but, Simon almost had it. Unfortunately, not able to pull through, however.
Yeah, he took off for second base. And, yeah, that was just a good throw there. A couple of good throws from the Eagles in that inning.
Absolutely. Norton definitely was able to get the throw to finish things off there. We're going to keep it going, however, as the first inning concludes. Be back with action for the top of the second inning. Don't go anywhere. Kaden Knapp, Dan Ridenour. This is Eastwood Baseball on Eastwood Sports Media.
Number 2, Connor
And welcome back,
Norton.
everybody. This is Eastwood Baseball and Eastwood Sports Media. I'm Dan Ridenour. He's Kaden Knapp. And we got Connor Norton at the plate. He's going to be facing off here today against Cole Crayon, the junior for Otsego.
Yeah, he looked pretty good in that first inning.
He did. So here we go. Norton getting ready to start the second inning here. First pitch you'll see going to be high. That's going to go all the way out to right, but have to be in shallow. And the ball will be missed, however, by the right fielder on Otsego. So now we're going to have to take that the other way, and Norton's going to get on base to bring up Paul Lotzenizer.
Yeah, Metric couldn't read that one, and it just went behind him. He ran in a little too much.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's not as easy as people think it is to try to chase a ball out in the field, and especially with this wind, it's borderline impossible.
First hit of the game as well.
So here comes Lotzenizer getting ready to roll. Try to find somewhere. The wind,
At the
however,
plate
take
for the
that
Eagles is the
curveball.
designated hitter, number 28, Paul
The 17th
Lotzenizer.
pitch by Cryan today going to go out. Lotzenizer now has a 1-0 count in the top of our second. His next one, however, going to be in the bottom corner. However, that's going to be strike one and even things up here for his first at-bat of the game.
Yeah, good pitch there.
So now here we go for Lotzenizer, getting ready to roll with it. He'll take that, however, and just goes out to the right side, foul ball. So then that'll be his second strike of the game.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how early Coach Walker will end up going to the bullpen, because we'll see what Eastwood does if the pitches continue going in the same area.
Yeah, and that's definitely a part of it. You know, I myself am not really sure. However, there's definitely been days where you go either just a small amount like 70, or there's days you go like 105. Metric, however, to redeem himself, he'll get the
Coming to the
fly off
plate for the Eagles, the
out
third
number
baseman,
one
number 9,
as we go for Eric
Kepler.
Yeah, and I mean, in the first inning, Eastwood really only got their bat on the ball twice. Now we're already seeing 3.
Well, and you know, today's definitely the day to do it, especially with the way we've been seeing that wind. Hepler with a bright orange bat to take it first hit. However, that one to curve just a tad out. That'll be ball one for Hep.
So I'll go back to him in here.
How about that for a bat color to kind of contrast your jersey?
I'm thinking the same thing, but you know, that's just one of those beauties that you see in baseball is the odd color, you know, equipment. I think it's really funny. Hepler ready to roll now. He's got 1-0 count. Next one, however, going to make it a 1-1. Barely just got inside of the strike zone, and that's going to put both him and Cryan right now in an even situation.
Yep.
And so here we'll go. Hepler getting ready for the next one. Going to go curve inside. He's going to have that drop. That goes over into left by Frank, and 2 will advance for Cam Shoemaker to head up.
Yep, just got over the head of
Batting
Bodie
is the left
Simon. He was
fielder,
leaping in
number
the
5,
air.
Cam Shoemaker.
And, you know, that
Just like that, runners at first and second.
And that just, you know, happens occasionally, but now we're going to have a visit between Cryan and Jeremy. kind of exchange things. I don't know what they're talking about, but I doubt it's a fantasy football trade. So here comes Shoemaker, the running back turned outfielder, getting ready to go now. Top of the second, he's got 2 on. He's going to let that one go out. A good save, however, by Jeremy. Norton is going to stay at second, and Hepler's going to stay at first.
Yeah, Jeremy had to go all the way into the opposite batter's box to get that one.
That's why catcher's the toughest position in all of baseball. That'll go again, almost down the middle, quite frankly, but that's going to be fouled by Cam Shoemaker. Puts him at a 1-1 count right now on the top of our second inning. So still going again. Another brightly colored bat for the 1-1-1. He's got 1 ball, 1 strike. There's 1 out right now, but 2 on, however. Next one to roll in. Ball 2 may make that a 2-1 count. There's only 1 out currently. Eastwood Otsego still tied for now. Interesting to see, however, both teams have gotten guys on first. How are they going to keep the bases moving?
Yeah, just continue kind of. Oh, I think we have a balk.
Oh. And, you know, by the looks of it, we will. So Norton's going to go to third, Hepler to second. And I do believe, yeah, that will be a balk called.
But if you're Eastwood, I mean, you're just going to continue being patient and continue doing what you've done this inning.
Absolutely, and he's going to bunt as well. That hit him. It looks like it hit Shoemaker as he was trying, he was trying to get a bunt for a base hit. There's no doubt about it. A squeeze situation almost, but since that bat was over the plate, even if it did hit him, it's still going to be ruled a strike.
We'll see what the umpires say. They're in their huddle.
Yep. And they might have been trying to call Norton home. He had to make contact with it, or else Norton would have been tagged out. Brian currently at 27 thrown today.
Pitch count climbing up there.
Yeah, it definitely kind of seems to drag on in the earlier innings and then kind of goes just quick later, but definitely going to have to consider that, especially when you have a bullpen like Otsego. Going to make it a full count, however, with 1 out after that ball.
Yep. And the Knights dug deep into their bullpen last time out as well in the win against Springfield.
That was a 7-4 victory on April 12th. Another one, however, going to be a wild pitch. Norton's going to try to come home. He gets there in time. Corners are painted for Eastwood. Hepler will advance to third. And off the ball and off the wild pitch, I guess, technically, Shoemaker's going to take a trip.
Yeah, again,
No,
the wind
that's
is kind of
the
getting a
Eagles.
hold of that one, and
The second baseman, number
that's
6,
why we saw it go
Drew
right by
Luhard.
Jeremy.
Well, that's the fun type of baseball is when you have the wind rolling along everywhere. But here comes the quarterback, also second baseman. He's coming up to finish out the order. We'll have Colton Woodward, who led off for the Eagles, up next.
Yeah, and if Ludhart reaches here, I would consider a mound visit if you're the Knights.
Absolutely. So now here comes Ludhart, going to come right back in and be strike one. So that'll be an 0-1 count. Ludhart definitely athletic, been kind of struggling at the plate a little bit lately, but he's ready to go and make a name for himself.
Second leadoff, as they say, the 9-hole.
Now here we go. As Shoemaker will advance off a steal, Ludhart will strike, however. So now he's at an 0-2 or an 0-1, count. 1 out on the board.
0-2.
0-2. Ludhart gets that in a play. Going way out there, however. And it did land fair. And they're going to call it as such. And, since Shoemaker and Hepler were not forced to run, they were already there. And Ludhart looks like, just by the skin of his
Now
teeth,
batting,
he's going to
the
get a
leadoff
hit.
hitter and shortstop. Number
Yeah.
1, Colton Woodward.
That one took a very awkward bounce, but it was behind third, and that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
And fair, I should
And
say.
landed fair, absolutely. So, it doesn't matter how you get a hit. Not every swing of the bat's going to be, this beautiful thing. But that nonetheless, still going to put Ludhart on first. Ball one, however, ruled after that. Looks like it was a strike. To me, very close, however, off the curveball.
Yeah, it could have gone either way.
So now here comes Colton Woodward. He's got a 1-0 with one out, bases loaded. Another one, however, going to even it up. So now you got ones all across the board again.
Yeah. And, I mean, looking specifically at the wind again, it's 23 miles per hour right now with 36 mile per hour gusts
Yeah, that's
coming in from the west.
That's very high. And there goes Woodward. He's going to find the gap between Rowe and Simon. Hepler will score, and so will Shoemaker. He's going to head across. There you go. Woodward gets to first, and Ludhart will get over to second base to give us a 3-0 game in the top of our second inning.
Well, Woodward reached base in the first inning via the walk and then just put a good swing on the baseball there, drove it into left, and extended the lead.
Absolutely, and as you predicted, there will be a mound visit for the Otsego Knights. Just kind of have to maybe get the jitters out and just get it rolling right back again. And, you know, we did see that, though, in the first inning. He kind of struggled with the first couple batters or so, but as the inning progressed, he was able to get 2 strikeouts before it was all said and done.
And I think the Eagles are kind of
And it's late for the
adjusting
Eagles,
because they've
the
seen that
center
most of
fielder,
the
number
pitchers have
3,
been off that
Brett
outside corner.
Messenger.
So they're definitely trying to be patient. But here we go. Second time today, Brock Messinger. He's 0 for 1. Looking to change that up. So now here we go. Man on first and second. Messinger going to get a hold of that. A little bop. Just to go. Going to try to get the throw. Is it in time? The umpire says it is. So that'll be out number 2 with Kaden Donnell to come up.
Yeah, that was a nice play there by Cryan, going down to his
Batting third, the
knees to
pitcher,
throw that
number
over to
4,
first base.
Kaden
Absolutely, you
Donnell.
know, at all costs, whatever needs to happen to get there. But now here comes Kaden Donnell, getting ready to come up. He's got Ludhart at third and Woodward at second to work with. And a ball now is his first pitch going to be just a tad high. 1-0 count now for Donnell.
That was a much-needed second out as well with 2 on.
Absolutely. So now the cushion's a little bit gone for Eastwood, but here we'll go. Another pitch to get it away even more. That's going to be strike 1. So for another time today, we see the 1-1 count currently. Donnell getting ready for his next one. And so here we go. Donnell to find it. Strikes, however. Swing and a miss. So that'll be a 1-2 count now. That'll be a second strike. Donnell, who is 0 for 1 on the day, needs to try to find something else than what happened last time.
Yep.
Donnell to find it. And, oh! It looked a little outside, but Donnell off the curve and back
Eagles
in.
had 3 1s
We'll get
and
the
3 hits, one.
third
Now,
strikeout
Garrett
today
Tuman
by
left on
Cryan,
base in
and
the
not
middle
only
of
that,
second
it's
inning
the
as
second
Eastwood
one
3
where the batter
and
did not
Eagles
swing it.
0.
Yeah, I mean, he took a healthy hack at the baseball that pitched before, and then that one just beautifully placed.
Well, and you know, definitely when you kind of think about it and everything, you either want to try to swing at it, and if it's a bad pitch and you swing, you know, it's just over no matter what. But also, if you don't swing at it and ends up being a ball, you're still alive. So sometimes you have to take that gamble, and it pays off. He took the gamble, however, and it didn't pay off.
Yep.
And so getting back into everything, Eastwood definitely needed that inning, and as we're still waiting up ahead to kind of get everything rolling, let's take a little bit of a break and read some announcements for you. As you know, the varsity baseball team played 3 games over the weekend, falling to Elmwood on Friday, but is taking both games of a doubleheader against Patrick Henry on Saturday. They're back in action right now. You're watching as they go to Otsego. JV baseball is hosting Otsego. Both were scheduled for 4:45, as you know. Varsity softball picked up a win on Friday against Sonora, moving their record to 7-0 on the season. The team is back in action today, also at Otsego, and that is going on right now. And then the girls and boys track teams had a strong set against Whitmer, and the girls team finished as the meet champions. Boys team finished as runner-up. Several athletes add their performances to Eastwood Top 10. Congratulations on an excellent meet. They will be back in action tomorrow against Lake, and there will be an FCA meeting on Wednesday in the study hall room at 7:20. Breakfast will be provided, and everybody is welcome. So now, Colin,
Correction, the designated hitter, number
And
3,
here we go again, Kaden.
first baseman.
Let's get the bottom of the
Nemo
second started.
Barnes.
Yep, it's Nemo Barnes batting. To start off this inning, he had his
Yeah, thanks.
last at bat abruptly ended after Simon got caught stealing, so he gets a little bit of a redo.
And so here we'll go.
Watches one up high. Barnes this season, 316 average, 20th at bat as there's a strike.
So that'll take him to 1-1 on his count. Technically marked 0 for 0 on the day, but as you mentioned, was up to bat earlier as Simon was stealing, but that one curved, almost hit him.
Yeah, it really did. He had to back away to ensure it did not.
So now here we'll go. 2-1 count. Donnell to give it to him, but high again, 3-1. And so now we'll keep it rolling. Donnell has yet to strike a batter out. Now he's put himself in a bit of a pickle against Barnes.
And there's a foul.
And swung
3-2.
and swung to make it 3-2. Could have gone anywhere. Just goes right into the ground. And there we'll go as the wind's starting to pick up here. Definitely can hear it inside the box. And as you could probably see it too on your screen. Just watch the netting.
You almost want to step off if you're the pitcher, or there's a swing and a miss, strike 3.
And so Donnell will get his first
Now batting the
strikeout of
designated hitter,
today.
number 3, Colin Went.
Now it's Wentz' turn to at bat the designated hitter.
Here we go. Again, a really needed opportunity for Donnell. So now he'll find it.
Went, the only night starter today, outside the pitcher, that has not appeared in every single game. This is his 7th. As he watches the ball.
His next one as well. That's ball 2. So now the 2-0 for him. And Otsego, definitely have had almost a home dominant schedule. They have played 4 home games coming up to today. This is their 5th one. They have only played 3 away games now.
Yep. We'll see if Went gets the green light here on 3-0. He will not. It's a 4-pitch walk to put a base runner on. Both night base runners so far have been via the walk.
Coming to the plate for the
that's the
night,
time-
the right fielder,
that's the time
number 25, Keegan Mendrick.
That's the time to be patient. I'm sorry about that. But here we go. You're patient and it pays off.
Yep.
You take that.
Too
Now
much
here we
try to
go.
find it and do everything.
Going to be looking forward to this. Number 25 now of Keegan Mentrick, the junior.
He's going to watch that one go inside. So 4 consecutive balls after the strikeout. Or I should say 5. Check
Maybe
that.
that's some
5.
total in.
5
That's all
and
we
new.
do.
Then I'll get back into the swing of things as a little timeout called. And then back at it again, however, Mentrick is going. Lost the first pitch in right field earlier, but was able to redeem himself with the flyout from Lotzenheiser. Donnell
1-1.
also able to redeem himself, gets a strike, 1-1 count.
Still Went over there at first. And he's going to be checked up on. Bottom of the second inning, 3-0 Eastwood.
Yep, and a good little transition into it almost. Donnell's looking that way heavily as of now, but here we go again.
To the plate, swing and a miss.
So now that gives it to Donnell in his advantage. 1-2 count now as we have the 1 out.
Another checkup on Went, diving back to first.
And props for getting back there in time. Definitely looking to try to get off Donnell right now. We'll see if he does.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 to go. Second strikeout of the inning, 3rd of the game. 2 are out.
Coming up
So
the
that
left
is
fielder, number 9, Grady
Donnell to
Frank.
get another one. 2 strikeouts and 3 batters, both of which the batter ended up swinging. And so now here we go again. Grady Frank, the freshman, up to bat.
Yep, Frank, another player that getting a lot of playing time right from the beginning, as there's a pop-up that will go out of play.
Little,
Right over the press box.
Yeah, a little just under us. A fan to go get that, but here we go nonetheless. Donnell to get it started off on a high note. Now he's got 1 strike after the foul ball.
Another checkup on Wentz.
Definitely Donnell being a little cautious here today, not letting anything slide on the bases, but nonetheless going to try to call him back, and here we go again.
To the plate. Strike off the inside corner.
And that was
0-2.
definitely Donnell using his curveball there, one of his more nasty pitches, as you could say, one of his strong suits. 0-2 now with 2 outs.
And that goes up and away.
And
Donnell appearing to work in and out to try and create chaos in the batter's head.
he definitely is, and now we're at the 1-2. We got 2 outs up ahead. 3-0.
And there's a swing and a miss. Strike number 3. 3 strikeouts in the inning and a runner stranded for the Knights. They trail at 3-0 heading to the 3rd.
And so now here we go.
At the end of the second inning,
The ideal
it's
start you
Eastwood
wanted.
3 and Otsego
One
0.
advantage for Otsego. Eastwood
Otsego
able
fans
to recover
reminded that
after the
Knights
walk.
return to action
Definitely
this coming
exciting to see it
Wednesday. They'll
nonetheless. So
travel to
now
Astoria.
the second inning
Game
will
time on
conclude.
Wednesday is 5 o'clock.
We're going to go get this fixed up and head into the top of the 3rd. This is Eastwood Baseball and Eastwood Sports Media. Anyways, here we go. This is Eastwood Baseball and Eastwood Sports Media. He's Kaden Knapp. I'm Dan Ridenour. And here we go. NBC showdown between these two. Drew Kashmir to head back up into the lineup. We get to see him again as we start our 3rd inning.
Yep, only batter last inning to not bat for the Eagles.
Now here we go. That one near Kashmir, having to duck on that. Ball 1 called. Had to go out of the way, but nonetheless, he'll let that one slide. And we're going to keep it going here in top of our 3rd. Next one as well. That one going to be ruled a strike, however. So we will continue onward nonetheless.
Yeah, painted the outside corner there. That's been Crying's sweet spot at times today.
Really has. Kashmir 0 for 1 on today, making that a strike 2. So now he's got 1 ball, 2 strikes, top of our 3rd again.
Yeah, that was good placement by Crying. They're putting it a little further outside to get the swing in.
Really good placement as well. Got Kashmir chasing as he was more patient last time. But here we go. That one inside again. Almost sounded like it hit Kashmir, but nonetheless it did not. So that'll be a 2nd ball to tie everything up.
Yeah, just went on inside.
So Kashmir to take it again. Here we go. Top of our 3rd. Gonna find it. He's gonna get a piece of it. That one going out. Is it gonna go? And that will be caught by Nehemiah Barnes at first base. Kashmir will be retired after that.
Good read on Barnes' end.
Up now
with
for
the ball
Eagles,
whipping
catcher
around.
number 2, Connor Norton.
Definitely is. So now Connor Norton gonna come up and get this one away. Now here we go. Norton looking for his first pitch of the at-bat. He'll find it, and that'll be a strike 1 called. Now he's got the 0-1 to keep it going.
Now Norton in his first at-bat today hit a single and ended up scoring first run of the game.
Now here we go. Norton, however, going to get a little swing in at it again, but that's going to be fouled off. So now that'll be strike 2 for Connor Norton. Paul Lotz and I are currently on deck for the Eagles. Norton going to take it again. Going to try to find somewhere. That's going to be a bouncer, however, going over to first base. And the ball is dropped, so Norton will get over to first safely. Simon to throw it over. The ball so close, just one of those unfortunate things that
Coming to
happen
the plate for
occasionally.
Eastwood, the
Yeah, Simon put on a
number
good throw
28,
across
Paul
the diamond. Just
Lichtenheiser.
Barnes couldn't hang on to it. Just right placement and everything.
Just happens occasionally in the sport. But now here we go. Connor Norton to go to first. Paul Lichtenheiser up again. So here we go. Norton going to find it, going to get contact with it. That one going out and shallow. And by the looks of it, it'll land over on the right side. Not sure where, if it landed either in the dugout or out of play.
Just on top of the dugout there.
On top of the dugout. So we'll have another souvenir for a fan, so to speak. Here we go. Strike one for Lichtenheiser. He's 0 for 1 today, but he's got a man on first to worry about. And another one. This one is going to go behind us instead of the players. Going to give Lichtenheiser an 0-2 count right now, and he's got 1 out.
Yep. And I mean, Ryan kind of in the mode right now. I mean, he had pitched 2 strikes to Norton before the air.
Definitely getting hot right now. That one to Lichtenheiser over to short row to second, back to first, going to try to get there, and he will not. However, all is well. He's going to get Norton out, so the leadoff going to actually go in your favor because now you got 2 outs and still a man on first.
Yeah, very good play there by Rowe to get it off just in
Up
time
next
to
for the
ensure
Eagles,
that he got the
third
lead
baseman,
runner
number 9,
in
Eric
Norton.
Hepler.
And here we go again. Eric Hepler going to be up for it now. So we'll try to find him here. He's going to get a swing on his first pitch, not going to be patient at all. And that'll just be an out to end it, as Lichtenheiser not able to get out in time, or not to get there in time, just a typical ground out. Going to bring us to the bottom of our third inning now, Kaden.
Mm-hmm. Good inning there to redeem himself for Ryan. Keep the score put at 3-3.
And just kept it exactly where it is, which, you wanted to have Eastwood to have their explosive second inning that they were able to have it now. Otsego just hoping they can get in that same boat. And some other things that we can look out for currently. It's the top of the 4th inning for the softball game. Still tied up at 0-0. Jenna Lubash for your Eastwood Eagles is the one currently hitting, as when we get to Eastwood and Otsego JV, that is still 0-0 in the top of the 4th inning. But here so far, definitely been a good day to get the bats moving, especially with all the wind.
Yep. Be interesting to see what the Knights do. Rowe, Hartman, and Ferdig do up.
And so here we go, Connor Norton to get back into catching. Jack Sensenig helping out a little bit, but both these teams so far have had similar opponents, but to finally play each other, kind of getting the things rolling, and you were observing everything that was going to happen, and now you're actually here to see it. It's got to be exciting for both these guys.
Yep. Conference play is here.
And definitely, one of the exciting things, then you're going to get Lake as well on
Coming to
Wednesday.
the plate for the Knights, the shortstop, number 5, Mason
That one,
Rowe.
however, going to be at home. But nonetheless, here we go. Mason Rowe will be up.
Yep, the senior.
And here we go.
Takes a strike right down the middle there. Look at Mason Rowe this season. Has not recorded a hit. He has reached twice. It's like a 1-1.
And so good for Donnell to recover, even things up here. 4 strikeouts currently on the day.
Yeah, he had a really good last inning. It was 2-1. 3 strikeouts and 1 walk.
That one just a bit outside, as Bob Euchre would say. The wind kind of carrying that, going to give us a 2 balls, 1 strike situation with Rowe still at the plate.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the pitcher step off a little more with these gusts. As there's ball 4 in the dirt and the speedster is on base.
And so Mason Rowe
Coming
will
to the
walk
plate
in.
for Otsego, the second
You
baseman,
just
number
mentioned
8,
he's pretty
Jack
fast. I mean,
Hartman.
knowing what he's going for today, I mean, is there a stolen base possibly at hand?
Yeah, I'd say so. Hartman 357 on the season. Getting the leadoff man on base is big, as there's a bunt attempt, strike number 1, and then the throw down to first. Back in time is Rowe.
So nothing to change there, but nonetheless, the bunt attempt. So obviously, as you mentioned, with Rowe being more of a speedster, definitely trying to sacrifice, get him in scoring position.
Yep. Knights still without a hit. So plate with that one, another bunt attempt, and that one inside. 1-1.
So they'll roll that one, the called ball on it. Hartman's still getting ready to go here. But by the looks of it, it seems almost as Donnell just balked. Coach Leedy going to come out and talk it.
Man, he came running out to the pitchers.
Well, definitely, great coach, great guy. Honored to know him so well, but he's definitely going to defend his players, and he's not one to go over the line by any stretch of the imagination. He just wants an explanation. So here we'll go, though, now. Connor Norton to come out for Donnell, give him some advice or say something. Maybe ask for Ian Happ in his fantasy league.
Swing and miss at that one.
And there will go to third. Rowe gets... Does Rowe... No, he doesn't.
I think they... Yeah, he did get there.
Well, to me it looks like he got there, but I could have sworn the umpire gave the signal for an out. But he's not moving, so he's going to be there at third. Just puts the Knights that much closer to getting rid of the goose egg.
Hartman back at it. So plate with that one. Check swing did not go.
So that should be... And they
Check
will
that, they
pay.
actually say he did go.
So that will be strikeout number 5 for Donnell. Nonetheless, that's such a tricky move, when you're determining a check swing. Whether or not what's going to happen, it could go either way.
Now batting for the Knights,
Yeah, it did not
center
look like he
fielder,
even
number 4,
remotely went around
Lincoln
there, but-
Ferdig.
The umpires disagree, so we'll go to the top of the order with Ferdig, who struck out his first time at the plate in 4 pitches.
So now we'll get it. That'll be the first out of the bottom of the third.
We're looking for good contact here.
Absolutely.
That one goes in the dirt.
Anything to try to get Mason Rowe home right now. That's your main objective right now for Otsego.
Notice the Knights also have their bullpen active.
They do. A little difficult to see who that is, but
Strike 1 off the outside corner.
what I've seen in baseball is you can never be too careful with your bullpen and just kind of get it going.
The plate with that one, that's going to be hit up the middle. It should score low. Throw over to first is in time. Ferdig's out, but he does pick up the RBI.
And so a great way to put the team first, going to give Otsego the
Coming
one
to the
that they
plate for the
needed,
Knights,
puts it
the
within
catcher,
2.
number 12, Easton Jeremy.
So now Easton Jeremy up. Let's see how this goes, Kaden.
Yeah, 3-1 down. And, again, that's just the contact you want to see with a player on third to at least score him.
Definitely a team first play. First pitch, however, Donnell will give is going to be strike 1. That'll be his 46th of today.
Yeah, a lot of pitches. 1 turns to 0-2. There's a swing and a miss.
So it'll put it at 0-2 for Donnell. 5 strikeouts today. Let's see what he can do now.
I'll go outside. Jeremy didn't even think about swinging at that one.
Yeah, and I don't blame him at all. And now here we'll go, however, Donnell. Ball 1, 2 strikes.
2-2.
Well, that's baseball, dude. We've seen that quite a few times today with a count being favored heavily in one direction, but just in a couple or so, it's either even or going heavily in the other direction. So now here we go, 2-2.
Swing and a miss. That's strike number 3, and that'll end the inning. However, the Knights do score 1. They trail it 3-1.
The Knights
Heading
get
to the
1
fourth
run in that
inning.
inning after 3
you know, right
complete
back.
innings.
And we will indeed. This
Eastwood
is
3
Eastwood
and
Baseball
Otsego
on Eastwood
1.
Sports Media.
The Eagles, the left fielder,
welcome back,
number 5,
everybody.
Cam Shoemaker.
Not the bottom of the third anymore. This is the top of our fourth as we get ready to roll along here. Cam Shoemaker coming up. Why don't you, Kaden, tell us a little bit more about what he's been like today?
Shoemaker, he has been decent today, I would say. He walked his first time up, and he ended up scoring. It was the 3rd run of the game.
Been great to see him so far. Definitely an athletic guy as he will take it. Strike 1 called now on the 0-1.
He also worked the count full as well his last time up.
He does indeed. So now here we'll go. Shoemaker getting ready to roll it along. He'll find it. Going to wait, however, so now his count's even. With Cryan throwing 53, or 54, excuse me, after that.
Yeah, both pitchers' pitch counts climbing up.
Definitely indeed. So now here we'll go. Shoemaker getting ready for it. Going to wait on that, be more patient. So now that'll be ball 2. Used to play Bowling Green travel. So not completely foreign to the game of baseball.
Yeah, he played baseball with my brother.
Oh,
for
really?
PG.
Really? Oh, and there we'll go. He'll get a hack at that, however, but 2-2 count. So now we're still even. Cryan able to recover nicely off that. It's anybody's game at this point. And so now here we'll go. Shoemaker going to wait for that. He gets a full count now. Do you think he'll take the gamble on it, or do you think he's going to just try to swing and go for the fences?
I think it depends on what type of pitch he gets and what type of pitch he's looking for.
And he'll get one going down the middle. Definitely going to go for that. Going to be high into left, but that's what kills it, as it was so high. Just a decent fly out over to
Coming to
Frank.
the plate for Eastwood, the second
Yeah,
baseman,
good read there
number
by
6,
Ferdig.
Drew Ludhard.
It was a good read by Lincoln Ferdig for the first out.
Now here we'll go again. Drew Ludhard up to the plate now to finish the order again for Eastwood. Another high ball. Man, we've been seeing a lot of those today with the wind.
Yes.
So now here we go. Top of our fourth. They'll find it outside, however, but ruled a strike. Looked a little outside here, but, you know, could go either way. Going to rule that a strike, however, for Ludhard. He's got an 0-2 with an out now. Ludhard waiting for it again. Not going to not going to find that strike, so he'll keep the at-bat alive. It's a 1-2 count now after that.
Very, very close to the strike zone there.
Definitely been close lately with Cryan. But now here we'll go. Next one, Ludhart to get contact with it. That one actually going to kind of roll over to the softball field. That's kind of behind us, definitely adjacent, as they are playing their game right now. And so here comes Ludhart. That one going to hit him, however, so no more questions to be asked for the third time today. Easton's going to take a trip, and Ludhart to get hit on that one. He's going to first.
Coming to the plate,
Yeah,
the
it looks like
shortstop,
maybe
number 1,
The
Colton
pitcher
Woodward.
on both sides and, kind of correcting for the wind. And then when you don't get the wind, that's when you get a very interesting pitch.
Absolutely. That's pitching not as easy as it looks, and definitely rolling up ahead. However, Colton Woodward to come back up. He's 1 for 1 today. And so here we'll go high, down right back in. That's going to be strike 1 called for Woodward. He's at an 0-1 right now, and he's got 1 out.
This is now the third time through the order for Eastwood.
So now here comes Woodward, top of our 4th. They're sending Ludhart. Almost hits Coach Leedy on the third base side, but Ludhart going to have to take a little stroll back to first base. Tried to steal him on that hit and run situation. Woodward fouls it off, however, that's strike 2.
Yep. I like the idea there, just a little off on the timing.
Definitely was close. Ludhart's a guy with speed, so not taking too much of a risk there. Trying to look over, get back at it again. High, however, for Woodward, but they're going to try to get Ludhart out there, and he will be called safe, however. Looks like he almost had him, but the tag down is what gave Ludhart. He got saved right there.
Yeah, I think Ludhart knew exactly how far away he was from the base, so that's why he was able to get back in time.
Definitely did. So now here comes
Spatial awareness.
Woody. Ludhart going. He's down and he's out. Gets tagged on the leg. That'll be out number 2 for Otsego. Now Woodward in a really back behind the 8 ball now right now. He's got 1 ball and now 2 strikes with 2 outs, which really puts him in a tough situation.
Yeah, what a fantastic throw down to second to get Ludhart.
A spectacular throw is exactly what I was thinking as well. None other than the number 12 of Easton, Jeremy, to make it. Otsego's definitely had a history with great catchers. I mean, if you remember Tyler O'Brien,
Yep.
last year, currently at the University of Toledo. But nonetheless, top of our 4th, 2s all across the board. Woodward getting back for it again. And that's strike 3 called, not looking. The 4th strikeout I have for Cryan today, and the 3rd out of those 4 where the batter did not swing.
Yeah, just painted the outside corner there, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th.
And painted beautifully. Might have to paint the walls at my house next week. But nonetheless, a great way to end it on a high note. Got a little nervous when you got Ludhart on first, but a great way to finish on a high note. Now Eastwood's going to get to play some defense.
Yep. The Knights get to bat.
And they do indeed. So, who do we have for the Otsego Knights? Who are they going to be bringing up next?
It'll be Simon, Barnes, and Went due up this inning.
Alrighty, going to be look forward to seeing that. Let's take a little look at some other teams around us. The score currently 3-1 for the softball game. That one in favor of your Eastwood Eagles right now. Sophia Rankin is currently at the plate for them. As for Eastwood JV, that is still a 0-0 game up ahead. JV been struggling a little bit this year. They're looking for their first win of the season.
Coach is keeping Kaden Donnell out there.
Yeah, and that's kind of, one of
Leading off the 4th
that's one of
inning for the
Coach
Knights,
Leedy's
the third
specialties.
baseman, number
Is
30, Bodie
he likes to keep
Simon.
guys out there a little long and kind of finish what they started. It works sometimes it doesn't. Nonetheless, Kaden are now looking ready to go. Let's get it going here. Jeremy up to the plate.
Simon slaps that one into left field. It's going to roll all the way back to the wall. It's going to be at least a double. One pitch and a hit.
And just a one and
Up
getting on the
next for the
second.
Knights, the first baseman,
Beautiful
number
hit
29,
nonetheless.
Nemo Barnes.
You know, having to force Shoemaker there to run a little bit. And that will be, if I'm not mistaken, the first hit for
Yep.
Otsego today.
Breaks up the no-hitter. Now you have Barnes up. He is 0-1 today with a strikeout.
Gonna be looking forward to this. Looks like he's got purple Bruce bolts on. Definitely a very good style indeed. Now
This
here we go.
season, Barnes has batted in 7 runs. So he waits the first pitch swing and a foul ball. Strike one.
And just going to get a little bit out, nonetheless, of the situation now. 0-1 count currently in the bottom of our fourth. Going to look forward to see what happens next. As
There's
that
strike two.
strike two, Donnell
Fell into the zone.
wasting no time on his curveball right now against Barnes.
Simon's still leading off second base, and that is going to go out.
And so that'll be that'll be what we have currently. Getting ready to go. 1-2 count right now. Barnes 0 for 1 today. He'll try to find
Swing
it.
and
And
miss.
he will get a cut at it. And that'll
Up
be
next for
that'll be
Otsego, the
six.
designated
No, that'll be
hitter, number
6-7
3, Colin
of
Wendt.
strikeouts and bring up Colin Wendt with one out now. However, you got a man in scoring position of Bobby Simon, who has a .615 on base percentage this season.
Yep, went the designated hitter. 0-0 today as he takes a strike. He walked his first time up to the plate.
And so now here we go, fourth inning. Donnell getting ready for it.
To the plate that one goes. It's going to be slapped foul. 0-2.
And so a good situation, however, for Donnell, but you know, I feel like if you could get a good hit, especially with the wind, you could bring a man home and make it a one-run game.
Yep. Wendt has 2 RBI this season. Trying to make it 3 as that one goes up high. 1-2.
And so we'll keep it going after that. One out as well. Still waiting to see up ahead what is next.
Donnell to the plate, and there's another ball. That'll even up the count.
Just like that again, as we've seen quite a few times today. A count may seem like it's in somebody's favor, but just in a couple, it could be evened up just like that.
Out of the stretch, there is a ball that is going to be slapped into left, and it's going to drop down for a hit. Simon taking off for third, and he gets under the tag in time. Just beat it.
That very smart by Shoemaker to just let that one go and just try
Coming
to
to the plate
focus
for
on
the
get,
Knights,
focus,
right
on
fielder,
getting the
number
throw.
25, Keegan
Nonetheless,
Van
however,
Track.
saved by the bell is Bodie Simon.
It's now Metric up to the plate. He's 0-1 with a strikeout. Runners at the corners. We'll see if Wendt takes off for second.
And Mentrick wanting a hit here, bad indeed.
To the plate, there is a strike. Big spot in the game. Bottom of the fourth inning. Donnell checks up first. That's safe. Went.
And went to be safe as well. Donnell definitely been doing that a lot lately, of trying to roll back on the batters and try to, get them out through that way.
To the plate with that one. That's in the dirt for a ball. Went gets over to second base without a throw.
So now that no longer the corners where you got 2 on. Now you have a situation where you have 2 runners in scoring position, which if you get the right here, you're tied up just like that.
Looking for a base hit.
You are.
Donnell
indeed.
delivers to the plate, and that's going to drop into the strike zone for the second strike of the at-bat.
And currently should mention that Nemo Barnes is warming up for the Otsego Knights, as Donnell has 1 out, a 1-2 count for him.
Donnell to the plate, and strike 3, backwards K in the scorebook.
That'll be
Second out.
Up next for the Knights, the left
That'll be a
fielder,
big
number
one for
9,
Donnell.
Grady Frank.
puts him at 8 as Grady Frank comes up to the plate.
That is a huge strikeout as well.
And now here we go. This is one of those big moments, where kind of you got to pay attention carefully. 2 in scoring position for Otsego could tie it, but also 2 outs, so it could go either way.
Strike off the outside corner. Oh, 1. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
And that'll put it away. Donnell definitely has been using his curveball a lot today. There's no doubt about it.
Knights still have 2 runners in scoring position. Second and third. The plate swing and a miss. A 3-pitch strikeout. 2 runners stranded. It stays 3-1. Headed to the 5th. We'll be right
Wow.
back.
How about that for Donnell? Looking like Garrett Cole out there for today. That is his 9th strikeout today, and you know what that means. He has earned the game notes as a momentum for after the game. So, just like that, we're going to head to break for the top of the 5th inning. Don't go anywhere. This is Eastwood Baseball on Eastwood Sports Media. And welcome back, everybody. This is
Leading off
Eastwood
the fifth
Baseball
inning for
on Eastwood
Eastwood
Sports
center fielder,
Media.
Number 3, Brock Messenger.
As we have the top of the 5th inning now, the second man in the lineup for the Eastwood Eagles and Brock Messenger. He's coming up to the plate next, Caden.
Yep. And he is 0-2 today with a strikeout and a ground out.
Here we go, 3-1 in this game. Also 3-1 as softball is happening right behind us as Messenger's first pitch of the day. A grounder over to first, but the throw the throw missed, so to speak. So now Messenger's going to be first with the pitcher, Donnell, up.
Yeah, second
At the
night
plate for
error
Eastwood, the
of the
pitcher,
evening.
number 4, Kaden Donnell.
Just a little off on this throw.
And, happens every now and again. But now here comes Donnell. Ryan at 70 thrown flat as Donnell is going to get right field. That one going out. Could go. And that is just right in the chest, however, of Mentrick. 3 balls have been hit to him today. He's caught 2 of them. But now we'll bring up Drew Kashmerick, and that will be out
The
number
cleanup
1
hitter and
for
first
the 5th
baseman,
inning.
number 27, Drew
That was a
Kashmerick.
heck of a throw from Metric out there over to first.
It really was.
Not in time, but my goodness. Zipped it over there.
Really was a good throw. Messenger now to forced to stay at first base. Drew Kashmerick up. Let's see what he does. He's known this year. He's got 6 RBIs. Has a 2-game hit streak currently. He's on base 0.520% of the time. And when he is on the mound, he's one of the top 3 for Eastwood. He throws a strike 20 out of 24 times.
Yep. Good numbers.
Very good indeed. Defiance commit, more for first base possibly, but nonetheless. Kashmir going to get that in. Curveball. So that's a single for Kashmir. A little, everyone just kind of stood still almost. I don't know if they thought it was a dead ball, if it was called off or what, but that just slides right by, and now we're going to have a discussion with Coach Leedy and the umpires.
This is at least the second time that the umpires have chatted like this.
Well, and I'm not sure what happened because I don't know if they called like a dead play or whatever, but nobody moved when Kashmir hit it, so I don't know if they knew that the play was dead and Kashmir didn't get the memo, or if that really was a live ball and Kashmir's at first.
Yeah, they're sending him back.
Yeah, just like a plate of cold food. So Messenger should be going back to first. I'm not sure if he will or not. And they rule that he could go to second. So that's ball two for Kashmir. He's at a 2-0. You know, that is actually a possibility, Kaden. Was that called a balk?
I think so. That's what it looked like to me.
One ball.
So ruled as
Our PA announcer thinks so.
ruled as ball two. Out number one for Kashmir. He's 0 for 2 today, but now he's got a guy in scoring position. He'll wait, and it pays off, however. We've seen that happen with him earlier today. That is ball number 3 with 1 out as we keep it rolling. So the 3-1 right now. 1 out. Kashmir's still waiting. Might see Nemo Barnes come in next as a relief for Otsego. As that's fouled off, Messinger's forced back to second. And we still have 1 out.
How many balks is that today?
That is number 2, I want to say. If my memory serves me correctly. Full count, however, now for Kashmir with the 1 out. Messenger on second base. And they're going to send Messenger back. He steps off in time, however, so there will be no balk there.
No Knight was covering the base either.
And we see that again. Eastwood definitely getting loud right now. And Kashmir's going to hit that. Looks like Messenger might want to try to step off, but a beautiful diving catch there by Fertig. Keeps Brock at second and gets Kashmir out to bring up Connor Norton.
Yeah, good job reading that and
Now at bat
getting
for the
to it.
Eagles, the catcher, number 2,
He knew
Connor
exactly
Norton.
where that ball was going to drop, and that's why he got to it.
Just got there right in the nick of time. It was a great, great opportunity. Now here we'll go. 2 out. Still waiting to see what happens. Norton, 1 for 2 so far today. 2 outs right now. Messenger still at second base. And so he'll wait for that. Going to be a high curveball, however, thrown by Cryan. Not going to go anywhere, however, that'll be ball 1.
Yeah, just a little high.
So here we go again. Right up the middle for Norton. Going to get the throw over to first, and that's in time. And it's caught by Nemo Barnes. So at least even then, if this is Cryan's last go at it for the game, you ended on a high note at least.
Yes, I mean, the only player that reached was due to an error that inning, and the Knights defense worked around it.
They definitely did, and good opportunity that you have up ahead, and Eastwood looking to keep the momentum. They've been having it all day right now, and so we're going to still see what they have to do. And we're going to keep it rolling just after that. A lot of excitement. And, talking about pitchers, however, Caden Donnell still coming back out there. He's got 9 strikeouts today.
Yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic to say the least, and still going despite his high pitch count.
Yeah, and absolutely. And as that's pretty common, when you head into 5 innings. He's marked for a 1.0 ERA right now today. So we kind of expected that. He's got 4 stolen bases this year as well. On base, he gets there 0.143% of the time, So going to be moving pretty well. 3 hits as well throughout the year. But definitely a lot of excitement as well for Otsego. They got Mason Rowe coming up to the plate.
Yeah, for the second time today, Rowe will lead off the inning, and Hartman and Ferdig to follow at the very least.
And we will definitely look forward to seeing that. Donnell looks like he is not showing any signs of giving up the gas in the
Leading off the 5th inning for the Knights, the shortstop,
It is
number
worth-
5, Mason Rowe.
It is worth noting that he allowed his first 2 hits of the game in the 4th inning.
He did indeed, and speaking of innings, it is no longer the top of the 4th. We now head to the bottom of the 5th inning. As here we go.
To the plate, that's going to go up. Ball number 1.
And definitely a little high there by Donnell, but nonetheless, that's what we're going to be having currently.
2-0.
Another one as well, ball 2.
Yeah, we're going to see how long Coach keeps him out there. No Eagle is warming up in the bullpen.
And Coach Leedy.
So there's a foul ball.
Yep, Coach Leedy definitely keeping Kaden out there. I'm not sure if he'll pitch all 7, but right now you got to take it one step at a time and have the 0-0 mentality that Coach Leedy loves to talk about.
Rowe had that ball go off his left ankle, it looked like.
Now back
To the
at
plate.
it again.
3-1. Hitters count.
Definitely. Donnell getting a little ahead of himself. He's at 70 thrown. 3-1 count currently.
And it's going to be strike number 2. Rowe thought it was going to be a ball. Was not.
It looked like it was a ball almost, but could go either direction. So here we go for Donnell.
Full count. And there is ball number 4. So there'll be a walk.
Coming to the plate
Over
for
at first
Otsego,
goes Rowe.
the
His second
baseman,
walk
number
of
8,
the
Jack
game.
Hartman.
Just delaying the inevitable, and gonna have to keep it away nonetheless currently. Jack Hartman, the sophomore, he's getting ready up to bat now as Norton gives some signs.
Yeah, Hartman 0-1 today with a strikeout. Shows bunt. There's strike number 1.
And so good for Donnell to get back on top of it here and keep it rolling now. He's got an 0-1 count to work with.
Now checks up on Rowe, gets back there safely.
Definitely been, I don't know what Donnell's doing, so exactly what he's thinking, but he's definitely so far today been looking that direction and like to still throw to first.
Another bunt, and that one will get down in play. So over to first, there's 1 out, but Rowe over to second, so Hartman does his job.
So a very successful
Coming to the plate for the Knights, the center
Sacrifice
fielder,
bunt for
number 4,
Hartman.
Lincoln.
Mason
Ferdig.
Rowe to get out, but Hartman getting over, or Hartman, excuse me, he's going to do his job and sacrifice. Mason Rowe gets over to second base, and now he's in scoring position.
Yep, now the lineup turns over, and it's Lincoln Ferdig's turn to bat. He is 0 for 2. Darnell's 3rd time through the lineup. There's strike number 1 swinging.
So
It's also worth noting that Rowe over there on second, only runner that has scored today for the Knights.
and
To the plate, 1-1.
really nice curveball. Definitely been Donnell's specialty today, and not quite able to get down low enough.
to the plate with that one. There's a ball that's popped up, foul and out of play.
Looks like that'll land on
1-2.
the football field almost, but nonetheless, we still got it going away. Donnell looking to try to get another out here. He's got 2 strikes to back it up.
To the plate that one goes. As he swung on, hit the third, throw it across the diamond. It's going to go down as a 5-3, 2 away. Rowe over to third on the throw.
No,
Another-
net for the Knights, the catcher.
Another
number 12,
beautiful throw
Easton
there by Eric
Jeremy.
Kepler over to Drew Kashmerek. And now Eastwood going to be having to get a little more care in how they handle this next play. Mason Rowe gets over to third. Both the outs this inning have been almost sacrifices, if you will. Rowe's right now on third.
Yeah, good patience by Rowe as well to wait for the baseball to be thrown across the diamond. As there's a ball that's slapped foul.
So that'll make it a 0-1 count currently just for the foul ball. 2 outs as we keep it going here. Donnell at 79 thrown today.
Ball upstairs.
Definitely high indeed. And, you know, you got to consider, does the wind kind of carry into that a little bit?
Possibly.
Now here,
1-1 turns to 2-1 as that one runs inside.
another curve going from right to left. Donnell not able to complete it there. A 2-1 count right now, though. Jeremy is 0 for 2 today, and he's got 2 outs to work with him.
Swing and a miss at that one.
So,
Healthy hack there.
very good hack, just not quite working out. But 2s all across the board right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the 2 outs. Donnell's got it.
It's going to be batted foul. Out of play. We'll redo the 2-2.
And so that'll just keep us going. Looks like it kind of landed in the concourse area almost. Not quite sure where exactly. But definitely a high hit ball over to right. Wind kind of taking it a little bit.
Houston Jeremy. The plate that one goes, and strike 3 called. Got him looking.
Donnell now in the double digits of strikeouts. That'll be number 10.
At the end of 5
And that'll
innings,
be
it
the
is
end of
Eastwood
5 innings.
3 and Otsego
We head to the
1.
top of the 6th. Time for break. This is Eastwood Baseball on Eastwood Sports Media. On Eastwood Sports Media. I'm Dan Ridenour with Kaden Knapp, and this is Paul Otzenizer up to bat right now. Cole Cran Still going strong right now on the mound.
Yeah, both pitchers really are. And, I mean, it's really been a pitcher's duel.
It really has been. And we start the sixth now. Both of these respective pitchers have not been taken out of the game yet, as the first pitch for Lotzenheiser is going to be a strike one called with 1 out currently. Lotzenheiser 0 for 2 today. He check swings. They go over to first for his decision. Do not give one, but it looks like they'll call it strike 2. Lotzenheiser, he's 0 for 2 today. Cryan is 81 deep now and still going. So Lotzenheiser going to let that one go, and he's just going to wait, showing some good patience there to keep his at-bat alive.
Yeah, that one's close, too.
And it was. So now here we'll go. Lotzenheiser again going to wait, and that's strike 3 called, looking. Number 5 for Cryan today, the 15th between both catchers.
Up now for Eastwood, the third baseman. Number 9, Eric
And
Kepler.
that will mean only one of Cryan's strikeouts today have been from the batter swinging. He's gotten all the guys to look at his last pitch.
Yeah. A lot of backwards Ks in the scorebook.
Definitely fun to write. So that's strike 1 for Eric Kepler to go. There's 1 out currently. Keeping it going as well. So here we'll go. Hepler going to wait again. A high pitch, however. Going to get a little impatient. He'll try to go at it. Going to make that 0-2 count now right now. We got 1 out.
Eastwood also has someone warming up in their pen, I believe.
And they
Tucked away in the corner.
They do that. Looks to be Jack Sensing catching the bullpen. There's Sherm over there guarding, making sure nobody gets hit. But just like that, Hepler going to swing and miss to the second forward K for Cryan. And it's 6 total.
Number 5,
And here comes Cam Shoemaker up to bat next.
Yeah, and Shoemaker 0 of 1 today with a fly out left.
And been seeing that a lot lately. 3-1 count right now. Shoemaker going to let that one go by, however. Still waiting. Cryan is at 86 thrown after that. Ball 1 with nobody out. And we do get a confirmation. Drew Kashmerek is the one warming up right now for Eastwood. So we'll have 2 seniors and 2 of the big 3, as I like to call them, who will come into today's game. And then the next one for Shoemaker is going to be a strike, however. First one of his at-bat for today. 2-1 count right now. We got 2 outs currently. And so now here we go. For the 2-1. Shoemaker's going to wait, but it's called a strike nonetheless. So now there's 2s everywhere right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
Yep. Good pitches as well.
They're definitely good indeed. So now here we go. Shoemaker get it. Going to be high, however. And that'll be ball 3. So now we got the full count up ahead. We're going to have to see what Shoemaker decides to do. And so Shoemaker going to send that one out of here behind. So that'll be foul ball. Everything to say the same, Kaden.
Yep. Lives to fight another pitch.
Definitely does. So now here we'll go. Shoemaker going to get a hold of that. Really testing Cryan right now, who's over 90 deep right now. But, you know, even if you don't make perfect contact, if you swing and get it foul, that's really what you can all you can do right now. Just kind of getting him more tired and tired out, trying to get Barnes into this game.
Yep.
So Shoemaker going to wait for it and let that one go. That'll be ball 4. And he's going to take a trip just like that. And here we got it.
Coming to the plate
For the
Eastwood,
third-
the second baseman,
For
number
the
6,
third time,
Drew Ludhart.
Drew Ludhart to come on in to finish things out here for Eastwood.
Yeah, Ludhart 1 of 1, but he's been on base twice today. He was hit by pitch the last time up.
And he was. So that's another one just out a little bit. And uh-oh. Here comes Coach Flowers for Otsego. Or Coach Welker, excuse me. Going to look like we might be seeing Nemo Barnes come in today.
Maybe.
And gonna wait a little bit, just gonna have a discussion, but even if it's time for him to end it, you still gotta look and realize, hey, you finished today with 6 strikeouts. It wasn't all just a lost cause. And
We'll keep him out there.
looks like it was just a brief mound visit. Everything to stay the same in your lineup. There's currently 1 ball and 2 strikes. Or excuse me, 2 outs, no strikes. Another one, however, to get that ball 2 in the top of our 6th inning right now. Getting close to Cryan hitting a century right now. So Ludhart for the next one by the belt. Going to be ball 3, so now that's a 3-0 for Ludhart.
100 pitches is relatively rare. I mean, we don't even see MLB players pitch that many in a single game
Absolutely.
that often.
Absolutely. Skeen's definitely tearing it up. Tariq Skubal as Ludhart will take a trip. That'll be ball 4. He's going to go on over for the 5th time
Coming to the
today
plate
for
the
Eastwood
Eagles,
Eagles.
shortstop, number 1, Colton Woodward.
And Colton Woodward coming up right on next. 2 now are on base for Eastwood with 2 outs. Woodward going to take the first pitch he sees. That's going high over in, and that's going to be just caught like it's nothing. Bodie Simon just going to let that one go on by, and that'll be out number 3 as we get ready for the bottom of our 6th inning.
Yep, they strand 2 to keep the score put at 3-1. Big inning upcoming for the Knights.
And definitely a big inning indeed that you got to look out for, with what you're seeing. But currently, let's take a look at how JV are doing back home. They are down 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And so that's what they have as of now. However, for your softball team, they are winning right now just behind us 5-1. This game here, however, Kaden, 3-1 is our score.
Yep. And they're going to keep Caden Donnell out. And, I mean, if you're the Knights right now, this is the inning to come back because, Donnell approaching, I believe, at 85, 90 pitches today. And, I mean, you don't want to face a fresh arm
Hitting off the 6th
right
inning
now.
for the Knights, the
absolutely
third
not.
baseman, number 30, Bodie
A lot of faith,
Simon.
however, in Donnell. He might even finish out the game. But nonetheless, Bodie Simon coming up. He's got a 1.3 OPS this season, a .684 slugging percentage, and an on-base percentage of .615. So here we go, Kate. Bottom of our 6th inning.
Yep. Simon today, 1 of 1 with a walk and a double. He actually has the first hit of the game for the Knights. He's going to watch a strike. Now, the Knights do just have 2 hits so far. Those both came in the 4th inning. Outside.
Donnell getting a little fatigued. He's at 87 now, so you were right on it. Donnell had thrown 85 coming into the inning.
To the plate with that one, fouled away. For the record, I did not see the number the last inning either. I was just guessing.
Yeah, it was a really, really accurate guess, nonetheless. 1-2 count now currently for Simon at the plate.
Strike 3. Backwards K in the scorebook. Another strikeout.
If you take a look at my
At
game
the plate
notes,
for the
I had the
Knights, first
entire bottom
baseman, number
column
29,
reserved
Nemo
for Donnell and
Barnes.
Cryan on strikeouts. Donnell is pushing the corner of my page right now.
Here's the foul ball. Right now it's Nemo Barnes at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts swinging.
Well, not every day's your day for hitting, but a foul ball there to start it. Brady Mason going to have to come out of the dugout again and grab it.
Putting him to work.
Yep, ball 1, however. 1 out. Donnell at 90 after this.
It's going to be strike 2.
Just about an hour hour and a half of game time.
Swing and a miss, another strikeout.
The designated hitter, number
Or
3,
Donnell.
Colin Went.
Colin Went going to be up now.
3 front-facing Ks today for Barnes. Went today is 1 of 1 with a reach via the walk and a base hit. Third strike. Oh, and 2.
And wow, I'll tell you, really nasty curveball there by Donnell. He is taking it to his full advantage right now. 0-2 with 2 outs.
12 strikeouts today, make it 13. Wentz swings and misses at that one. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 7th, 3-1. Still the score in favor of the Eagles.
After 6 complete innings, it's Eastwood 3
Definitely
and Otsego
good
1.
that you wanted, definitely something you wanted to get after, the last time you came here. But here we go, top of the 7th inning. We will be right back just after this. This is Eastwood Baseball on Eastwood Sports Media. And welcome back, everybody. This
At the plate
is
for
Eastwood
the
Baseball and
Eagles,
Eastwood Sports Media.
the center fielder,
He's
number
Kaden
3,
Knapp.
Brock
I'm Dan
Messenger.
Ridenour. We got Brock Messenger up currently at the plate, and we have a pitching change as well. Nebo Barnes to make his start here in the top of the 7th as a relief.
Yep, second appearance for him. He has a 3.5 earned run average this season. 0-1 is his record.
And 0-1 count as well. Messenger going to get that one to go, and another make that 0-2. Going to land out on the track just right behind us.
Yeah, and this is his first appearance of the season in relief. His other appearance was starting.
And right, however, let's get Barnes his first strikeout today. Nemo
The pitcher,
whip home
number
and get
4,
that one at
Kaden
K
Donnell.
to get things going. Kaden Donnell, however, coming right on up next. He has had a phenomenal game, 13 strikeouts when he's been on the mound. And so let's get it for Donnell right now. Another high one. Gonna wait on it, and that'll be ball 1. So just being more patient, that's gonna pay off right there. Donnell 0 for 3 today, looking to change something, but that'll be strike 2. Barnes, wasting absolutely no time, has yet to throw a ball this inning. So 1-1. 2-1 after that. Almost, I actually thought that was a strike, my mistake, but nonetheless, 2-1 count currently with 1 out as we are in the 4th time seeing the Eastwood batters. That's another strike, however, make that 2-2. Barnes getting off to a hot start. Colin Went taking Barnes' spot at first base, but Donnell nonetheless going to get a ground out over to Hartman and back out, and just barely going to miss that one. Almost was able to run out the throw, but he will not get there in
At the plate
time.
now, the
Drew
first baseman,
Kashmerick
number
comes up next.
27, Drew Kashmerick.
Yeah, very bang play there from Hartman over to Went, as he said. 2 away, and Barnes looking good on the mound.
So here we go, 2 out. Donnell 0 for 3 today. And that'll be ball 1 for Kashmerick. 1-0 count. We got 2 out currently. So that's what you got right now. Here we go for Kashmarek again. Lets that one pass. It'll be strike 1 of his count. 1-1 count now with 2 out. And another one to go. A little down. 2-1 count right now for the 2 outs. Kashmarek back at it again. 2-1 count. Going to get that grounded over Simon for the throw. Right back, but it's wide. And Kashmarek just going to get into first base. And if I'm not mistaken, the common trend we've seen so far this year, as Kashmarek has been pinch run, and Jamison King has gone into spot, and I will serve it correct. Here comes King from the dugout to make his debut today.
Pitch running for the Eagles, number 16, Jamison King. And at the plate for Eastwood, the catcher, number 2, Connor Norton.
And so let's get Norton back in it for his 4th time today. Kaden, how have you been seeing him go today so far?
Yeah, Norton has been pretty good today. He is 1 of 3. Reached on an error back in the 3rd and reached due to a hit in the 2nd. And then most recently, he was up in the 5th, grounded out to short.
And so we'll see what he's got for today. Ball 1, however, on him. 1-0 count. With the 2 outs, however, Jamison King right now, the pinch runner, he's going to be on first base.
He's been seeing the ball well, that's for sure. I mean, getting contact in all 3 at-bats.
Absolutely. Definitely known for that. And speaking of which, he will end the hitless streak of the inning. Is going to be able to advance everybody. And here he comes, the Lumberjack, Paul Lutzenheiser.
And now
Gonna
at
be
the
up with
plate
2
for
on.
Eastwood, the designated hitter, number 28, Paul Lutzenheiser.
And he's 0 for 3 today with a flyout, grounded into fielder's choice, and then most recently struck out.
And
Trying to give the Eagles insurance.
here we'll go. Strike 1 called. Trying to swing at it, it will miss on it a little high and outside, but nonetheless, he'll miss, and here we go again. Paul waiting for it now. The look back from Barnes, he's just going to step off and force King to go back. Definitely smart there, just got to try to play this one and get the bats moving in the bottom of the 7th. So Paul to get it, gonna wait, curves that sits right in, but that's gonna go out, and somebody's going home with the souvenir. That's way out of here. Strike 2 called now, 0-2 with 2 outs. Now let's keep this one going now. And gonna wait. They're gonna try to get King. He's going over to 3rd, and he'll get there. So now we got 2 painted right now. Norton is gonna be at first base, and then it'll take Jamison King over to 3rd.
Kind of surprised they didn't send Norton over to 2nd on like a little bit of a double steal there.
Well, now would definitely be a good time. 2 strikes, 2 outs to try to get a hit and run. But now we're gonna have Norton, who is in a almost pickle. Barnes just let him have second base. He doesn't want to try to get King home. But now 2 are in scoring position for Eastwood. And so Paul going to get it. That's going to be high and out of here. I'm not sure if they're going to try a hit and run situation here, but nonetheless, that's going to be fouled off. We're still at 1-2.
No, not with 2 outs. You're not going for a hit and run.
And so now here we go. Paul to let that one go. Going to be outside and wide. Saves it, however. Good save there by Jeremy, which will keep the runners on. So now 2-2 count. We still got our 2 outs, however. Two. And Lutzenheiser will swing at it, and Barnes will finish the inning with 2 of the 3 outs as a strikeout. Both going to be forward Ks. You know, even if that's the last time we see him on the mound for today, a good way to go out there and make your mark as a relief pitcher.
Yep, went in, did his job, kept the score put. Now it's up to the offense to come back.
It really is. And taking a look at softball as well, that's a 5-1 victory that they will have over Otsego. Otsego, however, in the top of the 7th inning back home is up 2-1 over your Eastwood JV Eagles. So as we start to close everything out, Kaden, I mean, really been quite the interesting experience here for both teams, and definitely, I'd say, been a pitcher's first contest.
Yep, I mean, we just had one inning where both teams scored, and then there's just been pitching, very good pitching, and more very good pitching.
It really has been, very good pitching. Donnell out there on the mound right now, he's got a smile on his face, as Jack Sensing is being almost a bullpen catcher right now, but here we'll go. Connor Norton gets all his gear on, and he's ready to roll. Replace Xander Grulich, who is currently at Bluffton playing catcher there. He will transfer back to Bowling Green for the fall of 2025.
Coming to the plate for the Knights, the right fielder, number 25, Keegan.
So
Metrick.
for the final inning of regular, to say the least, let's get this away, Cade.
Yep, it's Mentrick, Frank, and Rowe due up for the Knights.
And
So
so
to
here
play
we
with that goes inside.
inside and high, kind of by the head, but nonetheless.
In comeback situations, you want to get your leadoff man on to gain some momentum right from the beginning, as that one is going to go into the strike zone 1-1.
And so now all even across. Mentrick 0 for 2 today. Donnell has thrown 96.
1-2.
And make that 1 and 2 definitely in Donnell's favor. And so going to be interesting as well, because this could be the second in the last 4 games that an Eastwood pitcher has thrown more than 100. The last time being Paul on Friday against Elmwood. He threw 105. 2-2 count, however.
Inside that one goes.
Ooh,
Full count.
that'll be ruled a ball. Could have gone either way, and that was tough. I mean, definitely Donnell using his curveball again. But we'll keep it going, full count.
Donnell to the plate and slapped away foul. We'll redo the 3-2.
And so definitely going to try to waste one from Donnell there, keep him going. But nonetheless, at 1:50 of game time, Donnell's still going.
And another foul ball.
Hits the back fence. And so we'll have to continue onward. Mentrick not going down without a fight.
That's for sure. And ball 4.
And so he'll walk.
Now batting for Otsego, left fielder, number 9, Grady
That
Frank.
brings Grady Frank up to the dish with a runner on.
Respect for the walk-up song. All eyes, however, on Mentrick, who is at first base, Donnell, not letting him get a runaway at all.
1-1.
And here we go. And they're going to
Check
send
up.
him back. Like I mentioned earlier, all eyes on him, on Mentrick over at first base. Donnell definitely taking that to heart.
Swing and a miss at the full inside.
And so 0-2 now. Donnell looking here. For the 105, curves back in, but it's going to go out, and it's just caught by Brock Messinger out in center. Going to be out number 1, keeps
Pinch
Mentrick
hitting
at
for
first.
the Knights, number 19, James Hicks.
And here comes Sticks up to the plate, James Hicks. Nonetheless, also, I got to give my love, man, to my fellow hockey players. Indeed, he's going to be up pinch hitting in the right-handed spot against Donnell.
We have taken place of Mason Rowe. Finishes today 0 of 0 with a pair of walks and a run scored.
Donnell still looking. a decent lead. Not too much or extreme, but still, however, ball one.
To the plate, swing and a miss.
Right.
One's all over now. Donnell at 107, the most thrown by any Eastwood pitcher this year.
And there's a strike off the outside corner.
And here we'll go. One, two, one out. Tipped, but back in the gloves. That should be... No, they'll rule that a foul ball. If I'm not mistaken, keeping it 1-2.
1 and 2 stays the count. Yep. And that ball is chopped on the ground to third. Couldn't make a play there. Runners on first and second. Will go down as an E5 as that was Hepler out there.
Eric Hepler barely, almost had it,
No, it's
just
placed.
barely going to miss it.
For the Knights, the second baseman, number
Here
8,
we go.
Jack Hartman.
Jack Hartman coming up, and Coach Leedy heading out, and I think this might be the last we've seen of Donnell today.
Maybe as
Returning to the game in
Mason
pitch
Rowe
running at
is
first
in.
base is Mason Rowe.
Mason Rowe will go at to first for James Hicks. So the job is complete now. 1 on scoring position, 2 on base.
Keep Donnell in there. Hartman. 0 of 2 today.
One out as well. Gonna be looking out for that.
Ball outside.
Now this one, out of nowhere, kind of starting to turn into a bit of a nail biter. No clue where it could go. 1 ball, 0 strikes right now.
Donnell steps off. Get a little bit of a meeting at the mound.
Yep, Colton Woodward, Connor Norton, and going out there to support Kaden Donnell. We did see Drew Keshmer warming up a bit earlier. He has yet to be seen, however. Really is intense whenever these two teams get together and play.
To the plate. There's the ball that's racked into right field. It's going to drop down for a hit. That'll score at least 1 run, and that'll make it 3-2. Over to second, meanwhile, is Hartman on the throw. It'll go down as an RBI single plus the advancement on the throw.
And that one, tough to handle, and now Coach Leedy's coming out. And so is Drew Keshmer, so this might be all for Donnell. This is stuff out of a movie, man. You got 2 in scoring position. You have Eastwood up by 1, however, and you got 1 out.
Yep. Just the
Now
situation
on
the
the
Knights
mound
want to
for
be in
the
as Lincoln
Eagles,
Verdict is
Drew
up
Kashmerick.
to the plate.
And Donnell to finish with 113 thrown, 13 strikeouts. And Ferdig will be up. He's 0 for 3, however, to the day.
See how long we get a warm-up.
Looking a lot more smooth and confident, just more of, hasn't played as much today as other days, but still getting ready to roll. Quite the time you need him, however, to come up clutch. 1 out currently, bottom of our 7th inning.
Again, it's Ferdig up to the plate after he's done warming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely getting ready to see this. And
Looking at Ferdig this year, he has 10 RBI. Only
Now
played
at first
on the
base for the
team with
Eagles, number
double-digit
28, Paul
RBI.
Lutzenheiser.
okay, and here we'll go. They'll put Lotzenheiser over at first base in exchange of Drew Kashmerick.
Coming to the plate for the Knights, the center fielder, number 4, Lincoln
Lotzenheiser is
Verdict.
going to play in as well.
And so
His feet at the
obviously outfield kind of going by the fence a little bit. All the infielders in the grass right now. This is stuff out of a movie, ladies and gentlemen. For the first game of conference play this year, Drew Kashmerick will face none other than Lincoln Fertig, the freshman. And here he goes. Kashmerick's first pitch, however, going to be outside ball one.
Big spot for the freshman. To the plate with that outside again.
Ball two for Drew.
Looking at Kaczmarek this season, he has a .450 ERA. Fourth appearance of the season.
So here we'll go.
To the plate, and there is strike one.
A strike to keep some hope alive, and definitely what you needed in the bottom of this seventh inning. Now Kashmerick on the 2-1. Contact made.
Ball.
Caught by Kashmerick, and now there is a bit of a rundown. He's going to try to get him over to third. Is the runner going to come home or not? Not sure. A bit of a pickle. Hepler tags him. 2 outs. Great athleticism by Cash
Coming to the plate
to save
for
that.
Otsego, the catcher, number 12, Easton Jeremy.
Reminds me almost of when Zach McAllister caught the ball off his foot back when he played for Cleveland. Anyways, Easton Jeremy up, the junior. Here we go, Kate.
Outside that goes. Strike one. Jeremy's fourth time to the plate today. He's 0 of 3 with a pair of strikeouts.
So here we go. High ball, however, 2 outs. That one's going to be moving, and that's
Out of play.
out of play. And so here we go. 0-2 count, 2 outs. Coach Leedy calls a mound visit for Eastwood.
Trying to figure out what the game plan is here.
Fertig currently at second. You can't score Hartman at all, or else you head to the top of the 8th. And here we go, Kaden.
To the plate. Outside.
First ball of Jeremy's at bat again. He's 0 for 3 today.
Three to the score. Ball two.
In the dirt again, 2-2 and once more. Fourth ball thrown by Kashmerick today. He's thrown 3 strikes in his 7 pitches.
Swing and a miss.
And strike 3 for Kashmerick. He records 1 strikeout. Donnell records 13. And that was quite a nail biter there, Caden. How about that?
Yeah, it was a fun one. Came right down to it. Donnell will pick up the victory.
And
Ryan will pick up the loss.
And how about that to end things? Going to get the handshaking here. Really grateful for you joining us here today, Caden.
Here's your final line.
Good luck for your
today's
future
game.
endeavors. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Eastwood will win at 3-2. We're going to be finishing off for
The
today.
Eagles, 3 hits.
Back at home against
Excuse
Lake
me,
on
3
Wednesday.
runs and
Anyways,
4 hits,
he's
no
Kaden
errors.
Knapp.
They
I'm
got
Dan
9
Ridenour.
men
We're